rest of your career?
That was a long time ago. Coaching's coaching. I had a lot to learn at that point. I think the advantage of being a veteran coach is you've been able to put your system together.
Is there anything crazy you had to do back then? Limited staff, small school back in the 80s?
Well, in the last bowl game we had 4 coaches, so that was the craziest situation I've ever been in. So
okay.
We were coaching them up. Anybody?
Let's talk about today, Coach, what you saw from your guys.
Well, first day of pads. Not only day 5, first day of pads. So you're looking for a lot of things. You're developing our identity. That's what Coach Jones talks about. So you're really looking for toughness tonight. It was up and down. You got a long ways to go to work on that. And you're starting to work on soundness, knowing exactly what and how to do things. Practice 5, you're not going to have everything in, you're not going to have everything down pat, but that's what we're working for.
Have there been enough practices where that separation is starting to take place? You know, who your legitimate players on the field are going to be?
Well, I think every position is going to be different. The D-line, we got the 6 seniors, obviously. I think they're a little bit separated to start with because they're just veterans. It's really interesting to find time to get the young players developed. How fast are the young players going to come along? So that's a real key question.
We were able to talk to Danny O'Brien yesterday. What's he kind of doing to put himself maybe in a position to earn some playing time?
Danny's just got to do what he does, which is he's a great person, he's a great student, he's very, very tough. He's a brawler, so he's doing all the right things. Just got to work on his athleticism and his soundness.
Coach Jones said at the beginning of camp that this defense is only going to be as good as Dan McCullers is. Do you take that as a personal challenge to make sure he shows up every day in practice in top form?
Definitely. I think you take it as a personal challenge for every player, but obviously our 3 technique is very critical to our defensive success. That's the position he's playing. He's got all the tools. He just has to refine his technique. So yeah, it's a daily reinforcement.
How much does he slide around? Is he pretty much head-on center?
No, he's playing over the guard the majority of the time.
Looking back at your past teams, it seems, looking at the sack totals, there's not necessarily one guy getting a ton. It's pretty balanced out. How much by design is that? Do you sense that might be the case with this team as well?
Well, I think it's by design. We work real hard on what we call quarterback points and creating spacing, which tries to create one-on-ones. When we pressure, that's the objective. Create one-on-ones, and every person has to be able to win as one-on-one. So that's what we push for.
With all those seniors that you've got in your group, is that a situation that is good for those freshmen because they've got some really good role models there, or can it be frustrating because they just don't know nearly as much as those seniors?
No, I think it's all positive. It's positive because we're getting great leadership. The freshmen are freshmen, so they come and tomorrow's day 6 or 7, whatever it is. We're up at 7 again. So, it's the seniors that are walking in there with energy and juice in the morning and a positive attitude. So, it's leadership really helps.
Can you tell the difference between Vereen and the rest of the freshmen because of what he was able to do this spring?
There's no question. Yeah, he's separated himself not only because he's been here longer, but because of his work habits and maturity.
Yes, we've seen parts of practice, but not all of it. What about Vereen makes him, a guy who might be able to help early on? What about him is it?
It's his personality. 9:30 at night in the summer, he would be in here by himself working on skills. He's one of the highest motivated young men I've ever seen.
Having Couch and Hood both able to do contact, after not being able to do as much in spring, has that made a difference for them?
Yeah, it's really, I'm really getting a handle on Mo because he wasn't there at all. At least Dan had some of the spring. He's limited, but he was out there, whereas Mo didn't take his snap in the spring. So it's been great to have him out there. I think his experience and his stoutness, he's a very stout young man, showed up immediately.
Steve, would you have a number in mind about how many guys you want to play? Obviously, the defensive line's a place where you rotate guys. Do you have a number at tackling in, maybe that you're looking to find?
Well, ideally, the number would be 10. We're not at that point. Right now, we're at the old football adage, a pair and a spare. So right now, I think the 6 seniors are the guys that look like they're going to be able to enjoy the
Coach, with the pads going on just the last couple of days and getting more physical, how do you watch the young kids just to kind of see how they respond to that? And, what do you look for?
Well, what we try to do is certain periods where they might not get enough reps, we separate them from the older guys. And then our young coaches actually go coach them, but it's filmed. So then we're able to spend a little time with them in a little more of a one-on-one setting, if you would say, rather than in a room of 18 D linemen. I can take the 4 freshmen, 5 freshmen, and